What's going on, my brother? How you?
What's up, man?
Okay, that's what it is. Okay, you can hear me now. Okay, sorry for the delay. Okay, here we go. Okay.
I'm choppy on my end. I can hear y'all.
But yeah, I want. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what I want, hey, Mac, can I text you a phone number, Mac, and you send somebody a link for me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna text you the phone number right now.
Hey, good looking out for coming, Red Rum.
You already know, man. You already know.
I just figured, you know both coasts better than me, and you know the industry better than me. So I thought you would be a great representative for the topic.
Appreciate it.
I thought Timbo was
okay. I'm about to text it to you right now, Mac.
Timbo, where you at? New York?
I'm in Miami. You know I'm from Queens, man, but I live in Miami now, man.
Are you in Miami?
Yes, sir.
That's what it do.
Okay, let me just send this to Mac real quick.
I'll get this LA cap on too, man.
But you like the episode, man?
Oh, it was cool.
Huh?
$879-2108. Okay. Okay, that's the number right there, Kev. If you could send him the link to that phone number. But what the people saying in the comment section? Okay, he coming.
Oh shit!
You about to get a text message with the link in there. What you do is just the link and just follow the instructions to the link, and as soon as you put, I'll bring you in the discussion. Just let me know. I'll stay on the phone.
Yeah, I sent it.
Oh, okay. There you go. You just hit that link. Okay.
You pulled out an old picture when Red Rum still had all dark hair, huh?
Gotta hang up the phone. And then click the link.
Hey, what you ever do with that pit bull you had, Rum?
So, Kev, you enjoyed the episode, man. I'm glad you left.
I had to get rid of everything. They had a litter of all, the cream color, and then I had to get rid of. I sold all of the puppies. I sold like 7 puppies in 2 days, and then I just had to get rid of the mother and the father, like at least a week and a half ago. So now I got to start from scratch. But now, I think I want a tricolor pit bull, the one that looked like the Dobermans. I mean, the Rottweilers. I want one of those. And then they got like some designer pit bulls with spots and shit like that. I want one of them. Them motherfuckers look hard with the patches and the spots. I want one of those. Those are the 2 next pit bulls I'm gonna get. One of those pits and a try.
When did they come out with that Doberman looking pit bull?
That motherfucker's been out. It's called a try.
I never seen one until a couple weeks ago.
That motherfucker's been out for years. No, but they got some new ones out, like some new pit bulls that I haven't. I just started seeing them. They got like spots on them. They got patchworks and shit on them. It's not like, man, it's different. I'm like, what the fuck did y'all breed to get them motherfuckers? Like, when I say they got spots and patches, and like, what the fuck did you? What did you to these dogs? Because they making dogs, man.
Okay, they go Kev right there. Okay, cool.
Finally got this thing jumping. You know, I'm
all right. Let me introduce everybody. That's the brother Killer Kev. Killer Kev, that's Kev Mac, and that's Red Rum, man.
Salute.
That's the West Coast, our West Coast counterparts, man. Our brothers from the West, man.
Hello.
Salute.
What's up, man?
What's good with you, man?
Not much.
How y'all? Come on, smile, man. You ain't gotta be tense.
Oh man, we cool.
Everybody for participating.
You know, on the West Coast, we wake up bad.
Time out to participate.
Oh, what's up, Skipper?
What's going on?
Yeah, I definitely want to thank everybody for giving us their time.
What up, Skipper?
That's the brother Skip Snow's. Skip, what's going on, my brother? How you doing?
Skip in the dark.
Man, glad to see all you guys, man. How y'all doing?
We're good.
Pretty good.
Appreciate it, man. We doing all right, man. We can't complain, man. Staying safe.
Breaking up.
Is that better? Can you see me a little bit
now?
better?
Listen, we want to get the ball rolling. Now, look, this was the thing. See a little bit better, yeah. But now this is the thing. We we put out the Kev Mac episode tonight. I want to give a happy birthday shout out to the brother Kev Mac, man. Happy birthday, my brother. Wish you many more.
The sound is awful.
It's very, very, very bad.
Yeah, it is.
I didn't hear nothing you just said, bro.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with the sound. We got. Nah, I just wanted to wish I wanted to wish Kev Mac a happy birthday, man. Saying happy birthday to the brother Kev Mac, man.
Salute, man. Happy birthday, man. Many more.
Y'all hear me?
Yeah, good looking out.
Many more, man.
All right.
Now we put out the episode. The full Kev Mac episode came out tonight, and we had a lot of people in the comments section, saying that guys were style, things like that, things of that nature. So what I wanted to do was get some reputable guys from the East and the West End, where we can have a discussion and give a little bit of history of the culture.
You know you're not live, right?
Better information to make a guy like Kev Mac.
You know you're not live, right? You know we on private, right?
I can't hear.
Yeah, we live.
Oh, we on private. Mine say private anyway.
Nah,
Oh, okay. Oh, I see the live. Okay, I got you. What up, y'all? What up, everybody?
Going. You got people wishing you happy birthday in the comments section.
Good looking out, y'all.
But yeah, so Killer Kev, man, let's give the people a little background on yourself. Being from the East Coast, let's give a little background on yourself.
No, I'm born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. You heard? Projects called Brownsville. You know what I'm saying? Grew up with a single mom, poverty. You already know. So, growing up, the most thing I can say is, the things that we challenge as young Black African Americans in this world is, the aggressive poverty, the violence, the killing, the assaults, the stabbing, things that nature that regularly goes on, you know what I'm saying, in an aggressive environment like we come from, you know what I mean?
Now, Red Rum, can you do the same? Just introduce yourself to people on the platform.
I think Rum Rose.
All right, well, let's go to the brother Skip. Skip, you there?
Man, I'm right here. Can y'all see me? I done turned on the lights and pulled up into this 7-Eleven where they got all these bright lights.
Yeah,
man,
yeah. We just want
y'all got me. Say it one more time.
Well, we just want you to introduce yourself to the platform, man. Tell the people background on yourself.
Man, born and raised in Los Angeles, 56 years old, never left. Just wanted to be a little Chinese boy when I grew up, but I couldn't. At the age of 9, the Crips was there, so I had to learn how to fight. Can't hear me? Can't hear me, y'all?
Yeah, I
can hear you. I can hear you. Oh, Kev, can you hear the brother?
Okay.
Nah, I
can't.
Can't.
Oh, Killer Kev.
I can't. A little bit.
Yeah, so just saying grew up, born and raised in Los Angeles, man. Is it in and out for y'all?
Yeah, man.
All right, well.
Okay, so you born in Valley, 57, been there all your life.
Yep, been there my whole life, man. I wanted to be Bruce Lee growing up, wanted to be Chinese. It didn't happen, didn't work out. Had to learn how to fight, man. And the rest is history.
Okay. Now we all know the brother Kev Mac. We featured him tonight on the episode, and there was the comment section went crazy about guys on the East claiming sets from the West. So what I want on like Killer Kev and myself, and guys like yourself, historians that can tell the people, just paint the picture, give the people a little bit more on the gang culture in New York City.
Well, you know
that predated the birth of hip hop.
Well, but you gotta understand that, it's been gang culture in New York since the 1800s, as far as I can remember. Probably was before that. But you ever seen the movie Gangs of New York with Leonardo DiCaprio? You had the 40 Thieves, you had 7 gangs. You had the 40 Thieves, the Bowery Boys, the Dead Rabbits, the Daybreak Boys, the YOs, the 5 Point Gangs, the Eastman Gang. You had a lot of gangs from stemming way back from, these are 1820s, 1830s from New York, you heard? It's just that, I was born in 1969. So, my father was a Tomahawk. Had the Tomahawks, Warlords, Colt 45 crew, the Jolly Stompers. It's just that these gangs that we had growing up and saw, they began to diminish after a period of years of times. But there was other gangs always that formed and took place of these past gangs. You heard? The same is how it goes into the beginning stages of the New York City Bloods and things of that nature. So yeah, that's just a little tip of the iceberg. That it was always type of gangs that goes on, that movies is written about, that movies was told about, and the Gangs of New York was one of the things that that we vouch for.
Now,
let me ask one of you two brothers, what took place of the gangs in New York?
Say that again.
What took the place of gangs in New York?
As far as what culture?
Yeah, well, dance, hip hop, rap. What replaced the gangs?
I don't really understand that question, but I'm
when the gangs played out, what was you guys doing in New York?
Oh.
Say that again,
when
Kev.
The gangs early, that's what I wanted to talk about. That early in the 60s, when the gangs played out, we wasn't.
Oh well,
it's considered. Listen, it's considered cliques. You heard? Like cliques, a group of young people that comes together, and there wasn't a name for it. It was just that's the crew. The word crew meant a lot more of gangs, really, in those in the early 60s and the 70s. He from that crew. He from that crew. And the building you from in the projects, the crew was like, yeah, man, he from 336, that's their crew. He from 339 building, that's their crew. It was just a crew thing in New York, you heard? So basically, that's how this evolved to a lot of bigger stuff, a lot of bigger gangs. Like the Bloods started becoming, a gang. And
we had movies
from crews. Facts.
Now, before that, Kev, we had gangs like the Latin Devils, Ox gang that kind of absolved when the birth of hip hop came. Africa Bambaataa came with the Zulu Nation. A lot of those gangs in the Bronx, those early gangs, kind of dissolved and became members of the Zulu Nation.
Fact.
Now you got to think all this predates This predates Colors. A lot of the gang movies. There was a movie called 80 Blocks from Tiff. That really gave a depiction on the gang life in the mid 60s, in the early 70s. Of course, when crack came and heroin really took effect, a lot of those gang members fell victim to the drugs that was in the community as well. But Africa Bambaataa and the birth of hip hop really changed the tone of hip hop, because then you had your B-boys, and then that's when the crews came out. It was this crew. It was this crew against that crew. It was Bronx and Harlem cats, Queens cats. So it was once the gang life kind of absorbed, we went into the birth of hip hop.
I don't think
hip hop superseded everything after that.
Evolved in me personally, with my experience and my knowledge, I don't think that the gang culture kind of evolved around rap, except for the fact that a lot of these rappers, who don't believe in police officers and things of that nature, just so happened, I was locked up when the Tupac and the Biggie stuff went around, because Suge Knight had the Bloods on the West Coast, and just like I said, P. Diddy, it wasn't no gang culture with him, affiliated with him. It was just crews. See, what I'm saying? So, in the hip hop era, I didn't see gangs as being a part of that, except for the fact that the top artists, act and try to pretend to be gangster along with they nature of aura with they kind, or they peoples. So that's one of the things that, and these dudes just, just hung around. They was getting a lot of money. They was rapping. They got a lot of things, because you gotta understand, we're talking about rappers out here in New York. It's very rare that a lot of rappers, I don't think is at all, but a lot of rappers out here do not hire, police officers and things of that nature when it comes to, security. So a lot of them is because they live that life. They about that life. And they rap about that life. They feel inferior to.
And see, a lot of the gangs as well too,
right,
were a lot of those guys were Vietnam veterans that came home. You had it was so many different gangs in New York. It was so, man, I could try the you had the Black Souls. See, that's a little bit before my era. I'm just going by what you had. The Lings, the Chickadings from the Bronx, they still around. A lot of different gangs, but I think that movies like The Warriors spotlighted the LA gangs goes back just as far as ours. It's just a misconception on as know more about the history of the gang culture 70s, then maybe it wouldn't be such a thing of guys, cop things of that nature. The thing, I can understand their argument with the color thing when it comes to blue and red. You know what I mean? Right. But Skip, what you think about that, man? What's your take on it?
Man, I don't have enough history on the New York gangs, man. I wouldn't know what they started, what they created. You know what I mean? So that wouldn't be my area of expertise, man. I've heard of the UBN out there, and it meant something different to me when I heard it. Because we got something out here, got the similar initials, but it's nothing like what they've created out there. I've had people from New York call me and tell me they were coming down so that they can get the blessings or whatever from the neighborhood, to do some of the things they want to do. And I was like, bro, you done dialed the wrong number, because that's just not the way we do it out here, man. The way it is in LA is like, if there's something I want to do and I sell drugs and the other homie is the car thief, we may not talk and stuff's gonna get done. I'm gonna do what I want to do. He gonna do what he want to do. There's no leadership. There's no hierarchy. There's no one under me type thing. If I'm the drug dealer and I got 10, 15 guys with me, then that's what we do. But there are other people who go to parties all weekend, and that's what they do. There are other people who go hunting. They actually looking to go hunt and hurt somebody, and that's what they do. So out in LA is a lot different than what I've seen, and there being a structure in New York. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't have enough information on New York. I wouldn't have enough history with them to even speak on how they do things.
Hey, Timbo. Timbo, you froze?
Okay. Now, some people, my brother, say that. Nah, I'm not up.
Henry G.
A little delay, Kev.
I can't hear anyway.
What up?
What up, bro? What up, man?
Kev, did you have a question?
Yeah, first I want to introduce my partner, Hen G, man. He originated on the East Coast in New York City Spin Master.
What's up?
He's
what up, fellas?
He's one of the pioneers of hip hop in LA.
Hen G, look, but
what up,
the brother that used to Bobcat.
Yeah, but Hen G was before Bobcat, but Bobcat was
that?
He won though. But let me let me say this.
My reception is kind of whack.
No, it ain't yours. It's Timbo's is having problems. But look, I want to say this.
I just wanted to make sure you was okay.
All right, what I'm trying to say is this. The brother Killer Kev gave his spiel. He came back and spoke again. Timbo, you gave your spiel. Skip kept it real and said he can't speak on New York, but he spoke on the UBN in the 90s. So this is my thing to you three brothers. All y'all skipped the 80s. Y'all skipped the whole decade. Y'all left the 80s completely out.
Right.
And that's where all this misinformation and this childish bickering in the comments. That's why all this is going on, because people leaving the 80s out. Now, you guys talked about all these gangs, these Irish gangs and these Puerto Rican gangs, black gangs in the 60s and in the 70s.
Oh, you froze, man.
And then you talked about the movie Warriors. That's 1979, so y'all still in the 70s. And what was the Warriors about? They were dancing and stuff, right? Fighting, and and like you said, hip hop, Africa Bambaataa. Hen G can speak more on Bambaataa because he know Bambaataa real well. And so my point being, which everybody's getting riled up about over nothing, is the fact that during the 80s, I went to New York with Hen G. We went to the airport together. We got on the plane together. We hung out in the New York, 180th and Boston Road together. We went to Harlem, Brooklyn, and a few other spots. And at that time, and Hen G can attest to this, dudes in New York did not understand the beef over colors. That was a big thing. So me representing LA, I would hear all the dudes. Now let me give you a list of names, because you guys probably know some of these dudes. Kumo D, Grandmaster Cass, Prince Whipper Whip, Grandmaster Melly Mel, Ice T was with us, but he's not on that side. But Donald D, Kia Jazz, these dudes did not understand the Crip and Blood culture in LA, and they were shitting on us, bro. And anybody that tries to take my experience away, it just can't happen. I mean, you can feel the way you feel, but I know what I experienced, and I know these brothers, and I know what they were saying to us. And they were shitting on LA's gang culture. And at that time, if you listen to Timbo and Killer Kev said, the gangs had declined in New York. There was crews, posses, hustlers. Y'all was getting money out there. Y'all was stick-up kids. Y'all was robbing out there. Y'all was playing CeeLo out there. I know what y'all was doing. I went out there in 1985. I stayed close friends to a lot of them dudes throughout the 80s and the 90s. And so it's no diss to New York, and New York shouldn't be dissing LA. It's just a part of time where New York didn't agree with LA gangs and definitely didn't like us doing hip-hop in the beginning, where they didn't like LA style hip-hop. I'll give you some names. G could probably help me on this, but MC Hammer, uh, Egyptian Lover, what was them girls? Supersonic. You know, we have
257,
we a bunch of whack motherfuckers in LA because hip hop was new to LA at the time. So y'all had a right to feel the way y'all felt, and we didn't really we didn't really put our footprints in the cement to gangster rap. You know, the Ice-T's, the NWAs, and, you know, people like that can really represent LA's lifestyle that y'all understood real well. And y'all start to like the shit. But we're still talking in the 80s. And so, you know, Timbo had mentioned to me about Tim Dog. But Tim Dog released his song in like 91. So y'all still wasn't on that Blood and Crip shit.
Nah.
That Blood and Crip shit yet when Tim Dog dropped that. So I'm not saying anything bad about New York. I'm actually saying
see that's why I got the brother Killer Kev.
Gang members in LA was shitting on LA rappers when they first came out. You know, so what you would do in high school or in the block, you could do it if he had a big belt buckle and some fat laces in the shoes, or some Adidas with no laces at all, like Run DMC and numerous other New York cats. And so that wasn't accepted on the West Coast at the time. But then,
hey Kev, you remember back in the days in Uncle Jam's Army? I used to wear that shit. I wore it out here, and they used to look at me like Run DMC.
Yeah, but
because I wore that. They seen running them on TV.
You was fresh. You know, that B-boy style, like Killer Kev said they had B-boys. So I'm aware of all that.
I was saying that's where the misunderstanding came. It's just like you were saying about LA rap and New York rap. It was just different lifestyle.
Fact.
And niggas New York wearing white tees. It was introduced by rap, of course, you know that.
Yeah, you're breaking up, Hen, but I wanted Red Rum and Hen to come on because they actually dealt with a lot of East Coast, being in New York a lot. So they know more than I know, and they could give more of an opinion on both sides than I can. I can only tell you about LA because, you know, LA is my thing, born and raised. And, you know, I flirted with the hip hop culture and the gang culture ever since I became a teenager. So I know a little bit about all of that. Like I said, I had went to New York and had a lot of friends in New York. But yeah, a lot of people in the comments tend to get offended. They have these fragile egos. As you know, a lot of our celebrities and athletes got gay kids now. So I'm not surprised at the fragile attitudes people have. But when I said, if you listen to what I said, if you go back and play what Timbo recorded me, I said it's laughable that New York is claiming Crip and Blood because at one point they were shitting on us. And that ain't down in New York. I'm not laughing at New York. I'm laughing at the fact that once upon a time they laughed at us and now it was on the other foot. But I don't know why people get offended.
Let me ask you a question, Kev. What does I always wonder, what does blood mean in broken down letters for y'all?
For me, as a rip in my community, blood is blood. Ain't no acronym, but bloods and pyros will give you an acronym.
So on the East Coast, we broke it down. Brotherly love, override, oppression, and destruction. So this curriculum with this is what we had lived by. You understand? And that's where this is how, it kind of formulated when in the early 90s you had the Latinos in the prison, and we blacks, you had Latinos, you had the Muslims, and you had the 5%ers. But I'm gonna tell you something about just us as black is a unity. What happened was, if you wasn't a part of a Muslim, or if you wasn't part of a 5%er, you basically was left for dead if you was just a regular black person. So a lot of things happen to these individuals, like, well, you ain't part of us, so you don't believe in NOI, you don't believe in the 7th, the 18th letter, you ain't part of me, and or you ain't Muslim, you don't believe in Allah, you ain't part of me. So therefore, a lot of these dudes was what we call strays, and they was African American. So a lot of times they didn't get on phones. A lot of times they were abused or ran out without the help of their own race, because their race separated themselves because of what they believed in religion. So the Muslims and the 5%ers didn't get involved, and this dude was sent out on his way. So therefore, this is why it was to me. I'm not keeping it real. I didn't care about West Coast curriculum. I didn't jack none of that stuff. Didn't even know nothing about the Bloods in the West Coast. But as it formulated in the early 90s, brotherly love override oppression and destruction. This is the things that we follow inside prison first. It didn't even hit the streets. It wasn't nowhere near in the streets. So when we formulated it, it wound up, unfortunately, it wound up going in the streets, and then it started becoming big in the state. Then it started going to other states. Then it went worldwide after about 15, 20 years. But how it started with me as an OG, who's been in this since the beginning stages, is that this is what it was interpreted to become a part of our culture. You know what I mean? So that was, and it was against oppression. So we started, right? We began to, create fear intentionally against, Hispanic race of oppression. So, and this is how it really started. I mean, from the beginning, I'm keeping it real. These dudes talking about, no, it ain't started. Nah, man, we did not. It started from that. It started from us as brothers to come together to fight oppression against other gangs, like the Natas and the Latin Kings and things of that nature, and that's what it was formed against.
Well, it almost had the same similarities to how the Blood started, because there was so many Crips and they was outnumbered, and they was starting to be oppressed by the Crips on the West Coast.
I read the story on that.
With the power, the same similarities. So they have certain similarities once you start digging into the history. Hen, what you think, Hen?
Hey, Kev,
Hen, being that you from the East Coast, Hen
froze up. Kev, I respect your spiel. Okay. I respect the movement. It's no doubt about that. Me and you are really talking about two totally different things.
I know.
Yeah, okay. So me and you, we couldn't argue or debate it, because we really talk. There go Hen G. We really talking two different things. Hen G, got a question for you. Oh, he still froze. But yeah,
he still froze, because see, we had gangs like.
But the one thing
they had the Lords of Flatbush. They had the Savage Nomads. It was a lot of gangs, but like I said, it was some guys that was coming back from Vietnam, things of that nature. So use back in the 70s, because the old timers, like the Vietnam vets, when you was in the neighborhood and you say what's up to them, they'll say, "What's happening, young blood?" It had no gang meaning at that time. That was just a slang that was used.
Facts.
So, the term has always been loosely used on the East and the West. But him, being that you from New York as well, can you give us some of your experiences with those older gangs in New York, if you know some of the history?
I can't.
Yeah, me back in the days, I'm from Weeksville over there by
Did you hear me, Kev?
in Brooklyn.
Which Kev, me?
So, yo,
I can hear you now.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Yo, yeah.
Breaking in and out.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Me, I came from I'm from Weeksville over there where Dementia or Monk and them from. You know, the Supreme Team with 50 and them from. So I came out here when I was young. I was into DJing and shit like that. I wasn't really into the gangs and stuff like that. Me and Evil was rocking with the DJs, but they supported us in the neighborhood
Weeksville
back then. But we wasn't into the gangs. We came out here and it was pretty interesting. Yeah.
Weeksville is a 3-story, 4 project, right? 4 stories. 5
yeah,
stories.
five stories. 5 or 4.
That went to automotive with me. Who lived in Weeksville. That's a fact.
So
this
is the only thing I want to say, Killer Kev, though, to rebut what you said. Regardless of what your movement started out to be, it still turned into colors, red, and that ain't to say nothing bad.
It did. Now,
bad, but ain't to say nothing good. It's just a fact.
No, it did. It did. I'm gonna tell you. So, like I said, in the beginning stages, you know, and I'm different from I'm kind of different from a lot of other bloods that follow the you got bloods in New York that follow the LA criteria. You got LA, you even got LA bloods in New York. So they still, you know, got that curriculum. You know, me, I'm from the old school because I'm 50 years old. Like I'm from the beginning where it wasn't even formally corrected together. You know, you didn't have these ranks. You didn't have this, I mean, we had the colors. We had the colors, but our mentality was on go time, which is we didn't care what. Our mentality was to seek and destroy anything inside the penitentiary. Because, you know, the penitentiary only it's at certain boundaries. So therefore, that's how, you know, my name really came back a lot. Me fighting the police officers, starting riots. You know, I did a lot of, you know, I started a lot of stuff inside prison. And that's one of my motives that my name became what it is now and how it was, you know, in the beginning. But yes, in due diligent time, that it escalated more appropriate and proper and format. I wasn't with that time, you heard? I wasn't involved in the sets and in a whole highlands and the lows and all that. These dudes orchestrated this type of stuff, so they got a lot of more history with becoming more structured and adapting the West Coast. You know what I mean? Curriculum. So that's where they come in at. But you gotta understand is that a lot of these dudes that's more involved with the curriculum from the West Coast is a lot much younger than I am. So that's what I mean? That's what they do now.
So my question is where the curriculum come from? Because I'm West Coast,
you know what I mean?
Here right now.
Now, Kev, let me ask you a question.
I don't know.
Let's skip to
I had a question. My question is where the curriculum come from, because I'm 56 years old. I remember when the blood started, I was in the 20s and the Outlaws on the east side, and there was no curriculum. I've been to meetings, been to meetings in the pen, meetings in jail. I don't know a curriculum. I just don't know. So I do know that there's a couple of people, Mad Ronald, Bloodhound, my homeboy Loco, they all had outreach to New York, but I don't know that there's a curriculum written, who wrote it, what we supposed to be doing, because shit, I'm ready to retire and I don't know the curriculum.
Nah, but the whole thing is, Skip. We're not here to break down the curriculum and the rules of it.
Nah.
My whole thing was the comment section kind of went left. And we don't never try to promote East versus West on any type of level. So what I wanted to do was put some brothers together and be able to have a discussion, maybe clear up some misconceptions or some things that we might have been confused about when it comes to the East or the West. So I brung you brothers on just so we can have some intelligent brothers have some dialogue and show that, yo, look,
but you got
you can agree to disagree on things, and we gonna
right.
still
Now
be who we are, and we still gonna have to coexist.
Listen, you gotta understand the dynamics of individuality. The individuality of the people that New York niggas, let me say, New York and West Coast people, whether they're a gang or not, they still got a certain type of energy and culture that's still different from anything. Right. And that's a fact. You know, you can take me and put me in Florida, and I'm still be the same. But you know, you got people that got a different type of individuality with culture, with gang, and you can tell by the way that they move, they talk, they walk, and how they present themselves when, you know, they strip and their weaknesses. These are things that you incorporate and being perceptive about individuals when it comes to their style of, you know, involvement in gangs. So, we different. We just gonna be different. Whether we in a New York gang or not, it's still a different thing.
Hey, let me just reiterate on what I was saying, if I can, real quick. Not to start no argument or confusion. I'm basically saying if there was a curriculum that came out of LA, I would think that I would know. I know AC Moses. We call him King Baba Louie. I know me and Cynthia Nunn. You know, so the people who started it, me and Jan Brewer, the best of friends. So the guys who started T. Rogers. These are people who would have gave me the curriculum, is all I'm saying, if there was a curriculum. So if anything came out of California, anything came out of LA, I'm just personally not saying that it's what Bloods do. That's just, so in other words, I wouldn't want somebody to tell you that this is the rules to the game, but it's not the rules that we follow out here. So it's not to say that, you know, I want to down New York or up LA or whatever. I just want to say that whatever's going on, we don't have it out here. Jan Brewer don't got it. T. Rogers don't got it. H.C. Moses don't got it. And these are the guys who were around way before me, and I'm 56. So I just want to say that, you know,
I can't hear this dude, yo.
Okay, then what I say to that is that
I can't hear what he's saying.
From my understanding, Skip, it was that OG Mac, he read the book. Hold on 1 second. From my understanding, it was that OG Mac had read the book that Monster Cody put out, right? So now, when he read that book, he took the book and however he interpreted the book, and then he came with the 31 laws, which all originated from which would be my understanding. I'm not a blood, so
I don't.
That's how OG Mac
but I don't even
started
listen,
that.
I didn't mean to cut you
now,
off.
Kev,
I don't even want to hear nothing about that. You heard? Because I don't even understand OG Mac in the same sentence I am. That's a rap. Straight like that. I don't care about OG Mac or what he read. You heard? That's me. That's not my.
Okay, so now how it going forward though? So if Mac is not the now, did you guys follow a different protocol after that whole situation with Mac, or is that
listen?
You know, is the law, the oath, and his law?
I'm on the same time I was from the beginning. You heard? I'm on the same time. Morals, the principles, the weaknesses, and the strength. And like I said, I do not like oppression. That's it. You know, I know a lot of dudes follow other things and other protocols. They on a different type of time. I'm not for that different type of discussion with them. That's what, you know, that's politics to me. So I don't see, I'm different. I don't deal with politics. I never was the one. When I was in prison and I was putting all that work, policing on dudes, whoever was in the way, you know, it was because that we had a water fight. So it wasn't time for me to deal with politics, which they trying to do now. I don't deal with the politics. I never dealt with the politics. That's why you never heard my name in certain paperwork and, you know, in certain things and certain that nature. You just When you heard of my name, you heard of Go Time. KK was on Go Time. The politics was dealt with a lot of these dudes with a different type of energy, a different type of intellect that I didn't involve myself in because politically speaking, a lot of this stuff became a controversial aspect instead of what we was really trained to go for in the beginning in New York blood. There's other stuff that came along with the politics and, you know, dudes getting cut and things of that nature because, you know, when niggas found out about Mac doing this and he did this shit back in the days and, you know, and he sent missiles at dudes so he could keep dudes quiet, all that sucker stuff, that was politics, you heard? So, you know, I didn't really got involved in it. I didn't really put my voice, my opinion on none of it because it really had no relation to what my journey was. My journey was different from a lot of other people's journeys. You know what I'm saying, Matt?
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
Facts. That's how it was.
Okay, that's understand. That's
right.
Understandable.
Right.
Now I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. It's just that. So from what I'm taking from the conversation is that the Bloods I mean, it's some Bloods that have an affiliation with California. It's some Bloods that have took that trip to the motherland. You know, it's a lot of guys that's down moves on the West Coast that have real close ties with a lot of East Coast guys. You know, and that's just respect because you got real guys from everywhere. But the whole thing is that I didn't want the comment section to keep going in the direction that it was going. So I just wanted the brothers to have a conversation and talk out some of the misconceptions. You know, it's like brothers like Skip, brothers like Kev Mac. You know, those guys are from if you would say gangbanging, then that would be the motherland. So, you know, of course, I wanted to bring those guys on. Now, KK, I understand that you're not the politician. I understand you on Go Time. You was putting in a lot of pain for what you believed in. So I never want to discredit that because even whatever gang it was, they was all, you know, it's all something about what them guys believed in, be it right or wrong, whatever they believe in at the time. So, you know, I respect that. But Skip, and Kev, what is your impression how gang culture has exploded worldwide, being you guys are from the motherland? Because it's not only New York, because you got gangs in Kansas City, you know, you got, you know, Texas, that culture. You know, New York is one of the bigger cities, so they get a lot of pushback because you know I'm from New York. You know, we was always the trendsetters. I never got into the gang shit. It was always about our neighborhood. You know, my neighborhood against whatever neighborhood. It was never about colors. And let me just talk about growing up in the late 80s, coming up through the early 90s, on throughout the 2000s, and just growing up, period. You know, but that gang culture took hold all across the country. What do you say to that?
Well, I mean, the only thing I would say is I like to hear Skip's point of view. I done told mine a million times. At this point, no matter what I say, it's going to be under scrutiny, so it's better left alone. But one thing I wanted to say before Skip talked, I did want to say this. In Skip's defense, Skip never asked you or Killer Kev to get to break down the science of the Bloods. He was just asking, where did it come from? So he wasn't trying to get no information that shouldn't be public or drill y'all on nothing. He's just saying.
Yeah, we're here to have a discussion, man. You know, it shouldn't be.
But that's why you asked that
some
question.
People are passionate about what they believe in.
But
my whole thing.
If you got a passion,
well, I hope nobody say anything like I said, because
bro, if anybody got a passion for what they believe in, they should be able to explain where it came from. But that's it. And your boy G-Shine in the comments, dude is a kid or ignorant because he don't understand me at all. All he say is I'm a hater.
Yeah, I'm not even paying comments. I'm not really even reading the comments, to be honest.
What am I hating about? What am I hating about, though? That's what I don't understand. And that's really why I was telling you on the phone. I really didn't want to come on here, and that's why I didn't come on here the other night, because it's so people that
Yo,
don't try to listen and understand a person, they're gonna always result calling people haters and try to crush the niggas' momentum and that type of stuff, man. So, you know, I don't like all that drama. I'll tell you what it is, and that's what it is, man. That's all to it.
Because see, it's easy to call somebody a hater. It's easier. That's the easy defense. That's the new defense to call somebody a hater. I mean, we having a conversation. It shouldn't be no emotions involved, and we talking as men. You know, and even for the people in the comment section. I mean, we having a conversation as men. This ain't. I don't know what you guys used to. This is our first time really even doing something like this anyway. But let's keep it respectful. Or we're gonna have to just put you on timeout or take you out the comment section. A conversation as adults, man. But that's not what we on right now. Having anything to add to the conversation, then rather you keep your comments. Or I'll just delete. You know, you just waste your time because as soon as it go up. But Skip, what I'd like to get some input from you if you don't mind. And a little bit about yourself, what you're working
I'm
on.
just
You know,
here listening, man. I'm learning really because, you know, to be honest with you, as I said earlier, shit, I really can't. I don't have a history in New York, so I could never speak on New York. So my whole thing was just to bless this panel with the fact that at 56 years old, you know, there's certain things that we had to do, which we never had to read anything. And to be honest with you, from where I'm from, we were told not to take anything slid to me up underneath the cell. Like if I'm in jail and somebody sliding notes, I can't even take that note because I don't know what's on it, you know? So I'm not even going to allow somebody to educate me because I don't know what their intentions are. So we just not that close knit like that in the blood community. I mean, we are now that I'm older, but younger at 20, 25 years old, you know, we just didn't have that structure. That's all my point is there was no structure, man. We would go places and drink and smoke and fight each other and be friends the next day. And the only thing we knew is that we had to be deep enough to stand side by side to fight the Crips. That's all.
I'm about to see you right now, man.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah. Okay, now but my Skip along with Cap answered it already. But my question to you, Skip, was, you know, everybody had a lot of flack for adapting the California, you know, the style. But what about the other states in between that has adapted that lifestyle as well? Why don't those states get the same kind of pushback that New York does? Is it because of New York being a bigger city and New York always having a reputation of being trendsetters, so to speak?
You know, for me, I would think that it was out of disrespect to some of the southern cities. You know, I know dudes, you know, back in the days, I went to a couple of states myself, you know, as we were doing that crack thing, that drug thing, you know, we were going everywhere, Arizona, Las Vegas, all that. And I think that out of respect, and if I'm hearing Kev Mac correctly, that's what we were doing in the 80s. So if I'm hearing Kev Mac correctly, that wasn't done in New York in the 80s because they were, you know, LA, New York, Chicago, they kind of on the same level. So you can't take nothing to a place where it's already something created. So that's why I went to Tennessee. That's why I went to Arkansas. That's why I went to some of these smaller cities because they were far behind. I think that for me, the respect level is that New York, you know, is an original city itself. You know, if we talk about Dead Rabbits and all the other stuff that was the Lords of Flatbush and all that, they already had stuff created. So why take on someone else's creation? So I think it's more of a, you know, two top dogs, two top generals. Why would you accept something that was created on the West Coast when the East Coast already had its swag, already had its own identity, sort of thing, you know, where the other cities and states didn't have that identity. It's more
I don't hear nobody. Is anybody talking?
Oh.
Right. And you just join the link right through there.
There was a guy. Right?
Hold on 1 second. I'm just inviting the brother Mel.
I want to be in
Kev, can you hear me?
Guy, right? He was the only one, the first blood I met originally from LA. I think he lived it on Elm Street, somewhere in LA, on Elm Street. But he got knocked over here from the West Coast. He was really a blood. I mean, like, he was the first one. His name was Short Boy. Short Boy was from LA. I had his mom address, things of that nature. His walk was different. His talk was different. His swag was different. And he taught me how to stack. We was very close. We was bunkies in Attica. But he came over here, he got knocked off on a case or whatever back in the early 90s, and he wanted to become my bunkie. And he showed me some pictures of his father. His father, his father was blood. And his father was blood in the 60s. So I don't know the history, but his father, he said his father was born in his father was blood in the 60s, and he showed me the big afros, the Converse, and the group pictures he took, things of that nature. That was the only blood that I say from the, and he was I think he said he was a treetop Paru. I don't know West Coast sets like that. You heard? I don't study that. You heard? But he was one of the only original blood that I saw who came in the East Coast, and he had everything. He smelled like one. He walked like one. His arms moved a certain way when he walked like one. I mean, you can tell. Short Boy, he was about it. He was definitely about it. But for him, even to adapt, and he even, was like, when the war was on with, people of a race and, things of that nature, he was like, man, we like on the West Coast, man, we kind of cool with these people, but it was different. So it was a different type of war that he had to get accustomed to, because the energy shifted. So when the energy shift, when you in someone else's, that's just like if I go to LA, the energy going to shift. I gotta adapt to it. I gotta learn how to fluctuate and get used to the energy in LA if I go to their prisons. And I gotta learn how to adapt to that. This is one of the things that he had to do when he was in New York. And then, but I incorporated a lot of things about him. I don't know what happened to the brother. I don't know, but I called I used to write his mother, and she used to write me back and things of that nature. But definitely was different, LA definitely different, you heard? Facts.
Yo, Mel is on his way in now. Yeah, we having some technical difficulties. Let's see. Get me back now. But yeah, Kev, I know that you really didn't want to get involved in this whole live thing and even rebuttaling any of that. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
There's a disconnect between older dudes on the West Coast and younger dudes on the East Coast. There's a huge disconnect.
That's a fact.
Instead of dudes bugging out on me, I just rather, I try not to say too much. But one thing I can respect the Killer Kev.
Yeah.
I like the fact that he kept saying, he was telling a story about dude's father, but he was saying it in a way that he's not repeating it as if it's gold. It's something that was told to him. And as minute as it may be, or maybe it's not so minute, Treetops didn't become Pyru until the 70s in Compton. And the blood card didn't even start until the 70s. So that's what I mean by a lot of miscommunication and misinformation. Things like that. A dude from the West Coast. Put it like this, Kev.
That's why we're here. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. So brothers can get a better understanding of each other.
Right.
Let me try to put it like this for you, real simple. So nobody feel offended and everybody understand what I'm trying to say. And Skip, you might have been in the pen or you might have been on the street, but dudes in LA used to claim they was from New York. And they would tell us about spray painting and breakdancing and rapping and scratching and all that shit. They'd have the fat laces and the big belts and the Kangos and the bomber jackets with graffiti on the jean jackets and all that. And we didn't know they wasn't from New York, so they would come to LA and tell us anything. And that's the same thing as what's happening. Dudes from LA go to New York and just say anything. You know what I mean? And people start believing it and repeating it. So it's not always, a person shouldn't feel bad because they was given some false information, but that's just the facts of the matter. People lie. People want to be bigger than what they are.
I don't know, man. I'm giving you my perceptions. I'm an OG, and no disrespect to the West Coast. My intention
Kev, send me the link.
Huh?
Send me the link to this stream, okay? So my phone, please. Kev Mac.
Yeah.
Do me a favor.
I got you.
I
got you. I just want the younger guys in New York.
Yeah, my bad. I didn't mean to interrupt you on that.
Yeah, but some of the but no disrespect. Like I said, man, like I've never been the one to incorporate or try to follow suit with anything. I've always been a leader. We've always been trendsetters, and I think later on I got the misconceptions that throughout this going on and blood escalating, that it became what they say is copying off the LA. Nah, man, I didn't believe in that. I didn't. And this is one of the things that's why I touched on when I said, what does blood means over there? I never could get an answer. But blood means different over there where you at than it is where we at. See, brotherly love over the precedent destruction is what we incorporate over here. So that's what I believe in. But I know that throughout, like I said, and like you said, the misconception comes in because of the colors. Yeah, red was our color and things of that nature. Because in the early 90s, that's what it was all mixed up to be. In the beginning, you know what I mean? In the beginning stage, it was all messed up to be. It was all mixed up to be like that. But my culture was like, it was a different type of journey for me when it came to me, brotherly love over the present destruction. That means that I was there for my brother as he was not there for himself. So, we had a journey.
That's right, Beach Boys. I agree.
We had a journey. We had a strategy. Was very strategic in jail. And, and that's what our thing was, to instill fear amongst people who have oppressed. And that was our thing against other gangs.
I already sent it, man.
The other stuff that came about blood began to escalate into a corporate West Coast thing, because I'm still in a box. A lot of these dudes is in population, and and they started incorporating into the politics and things of that nature. And I started hearing about a lot of this stuff, but I still stood firm in my circle. I still stood where my belief was when it came to principles and morals about what my mission was. My mission was to seek and destroy. So their mission was, and then, like I said, and also that became another problem too, because they began to have political views with the supposedly oppressive people and be having peace treaties, which I didn't believe in at that time. They started incorporating peace treaties to live amongst each other, because like they says, it was a lot of things that was going on where I still stood firm in my belief, and a lot of things escalated into more political and West Coast and all this other stuff. Yeah, that's it. You heard?
Hey, yo.
That was one of the things that happened.
Now, Kev, look.
I'm on
Kev Mac, this the brother Mel Cross. Yo, Skip, this the brother Mel Cross.
Yo, first and foremost, man, salute the
Mel Cross, salute.
Yo, slow.
I might have a different take.
Hey, yo,
salute.
Forward, man. Salute everybody on this panel, man.
Beautiful.
Kev Mac, I've been watching y'all videos, man. I'm feeling y'all, man. You know, I got to hear a little brief on what was being said. I want to expound on something, right? You know, if a person's father's a rat, do that make the son a rat automatically?
No.
Or do the son has his own persona or his own name and reputation to build up and everything to live off of?
Yeah.
I asked that because New York will always be a trend-setting city. Overstand what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you an example on a lot of things on how New York and Cali be connected.
Right.
When the things happened with George Jackson, right? When he got murdered and everything, what happened in New York? New York rose up.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? During the Attica riot, it was the biggest riot that I know of in North America at that time and for a while. You understand what I'm saying? Also, you know, I heard Kev Mac say, you know, that he can't speak on the homies over here, but he felt it funny because back in the 70s and the 80s and all that, people was making fun of LA way of gangbanging, right? Now, I got to agree with him, but I'm gonna tell you where that started at. But it wasn't everybody. Just like one person can't talk for LA, one person can't talk for New York. There's over 8 million people in New York. You know what I'm saying? Now, if we remember back about first how we, you know, the first original rap beast with East and West, a lot of people now be thinking it's because of Biggie and all that. It wasn't Biggie and them. It was the mob style situation. Y'all had a group mob style over there, and then Alpo and them dudes came with a group out over here, mob style, and it trickled out like that. Tim Dog jumped in, talking about, you know, fuck Compton and all this, that, and the other, whatever, with the NWA beef and everything like that. So because of that, people had took sides or whatever. But it's a known fact that it always been gangs over here in New York.
Fact.
Now, I'm gonna say this. You know, all right, nobody sanctioned us over there, whatever the case be, so forth and so on. Yeah, OG Mac made a lot of mistakes. You understand what I'm saying? But his intent was pure. Because the way I was looking at it, a brother like me who was told that this thing right here was about fighting oppression and all that thing was going on, a majority of us during the late 90s and everything joined for that purpose. You know what I'm saying? Dudes, you know what I'm saying? You know, granted, a lot of us got a lot of bad names because of the things that was going on in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Kids getting cut, babies getting cut, you know, things of that nature. But what people don't understand or overstand or even heard or realize is that when them brothers got locked up, what they had to go through because of that.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody wasn't about that fucking.
They got punished.
Nobody, you know what I'm saying? Nobody wasn't about that. But keeping it authentic and keeping it official, you know what I'm saying? Even out there when with the gangbanging, there's not no clean cloth of righteousness or nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's foul everywhere, just like it's real everywhere. You know what I'm saying? That don't make me or nobody no fake dude because a dude didn't get blessed or obliged by y'all. That don't make me fake or none of that. That don't make me fake because we had organization over here that was coalition that was going by the name Dan Moo before blood even started on the West Coast.
Is that right? I never heard that one before. You heard that?
Yeah, matter of fact, beloved, I'm not even going to cap because I'm in my house. Matter of fact, I'm going to get this book called, it's Encyclopedia Black History, and it breaks all that down. You understand what I'm saying? It breaks all that down. You know what I'm saying? But that be the main thing. I get it. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I get it. I'm gonna act like I'm from the West Coast, right? All right. It's your Kev. We both know that there's a lot of different things over here on the East Coast, not just in New York, but on the Eastern Seaboard that got our hoods over there and everything. That's
a whole fact.
And we felt disrespected. We felt violated and so forth and over. Right or wrong?
That's a whole fact.
So I understand what the runs over there in LA feel. I understand because a lot of them don't have a understanding on how it started or whatever it can be. Just like people saying Blood started based off of Monster Cody book. No
way.
Was started before Monster Cody's book came out. But later on, like a lot of like me that I didn't know that I found out, you know what I'm saying, maybe about almost a decade later, that a lot of things that was said in that Monster Cody book was implemented. You know what I'm saying? When you look at a lot of the differences in the strikes, you know what I'm saying, between the gangs, whether it's Chicago, whether it's New York, whether it's LA, whether it's in Hong Kong. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, you know, people like when you look at the 5, you look at 6 of Chicago and everything, it's like a tomato thing. Everybody playing word semantics. You represent the same thing, but it's little different stripes that started while individual gangs ended up turning blood or Crip, where over here it started off in jail. A lot of people over here in New York didn't even know that this shit was going to grow the way it did. And
that's what I just said.
One of the things that helped this grow over here is rap music. And I'm gonna give you 3 people of in rap and what I'm talking about. One is Jay-Z. To all my dogs that's locked in the bing, when you hit the bricks, new whips, money ain't a thing. He talking about us because we was B-Dogs. B-Dogs is an acronym for Bloods Do Only Gangster Shit. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people have ways on why they started with the, you know what I'm saying, on you know, some people had their own little hidden agendas why it came about or whatever the case may be. But the reason why it's so prominent now as opposed to other gangs that was out here in New York is because it was more of a foundational purpose. It wasn't like, all right, well, we just gonna start Zulu Nation because of XYZ, whatever, and it faded out, whatever, because the purpose was fulfilled. Once the purpose was fulfilled, it was no reason for, you know, to keep going on with it. You know what I'm saying? But this thing right here and how everything was drawn out to us with the rules and principles in us, those rules and principles, whether who made it or not, you know what I'm saying, changed and shaped the lives of many people. You understand what I'm saying? Some for the worse, some for the good. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna let's all right. I'm gonna give you a perfect example of what I'm saying, right? Let's look at Kwanzaa and Ron Karenga. We already know his history with the United Slaves against the Black Panthers and everything that was going on when Reagan was governor, right? Now we understand and we know that he also is the man that made Kwanzaa. So if you know this man's history, and you be like, yo, this dude was an agent provocateur, or he was doing this, or he was going against the Panthers with LAPD and all that, or he was doing this and he was doing that. He also the one that killed what's the name in UCLA campus, correct?
Bunchy Carter.
That's a whole fact. Who was the leader of the LA based chapter, correct?
Correct.
All right, now does that stop a lot of African American people from taking on the principles on what Kwanzaa stand for and what it represents? Or does Ron's history means more than, you know what I'm saying, the upliftment of the people and the people that got touched by the principles of Kwanzaa?
Well, I would answer that with, like you said, one person can't speak for everybody.
Absolutely.
And for sure, I wasn't basing my experience on one person. It was actually a group of dudes in the Bronx. Now you can say I was basing it on one city, but I was dealing with a lot of dudes out the Bronx at the time.
Yeah. Also, man, you know, I want to come on here because I don't know if you know, but a lot of people know, man. You know, at one point in time, man, you know, I put myself in grave danger. You know what I'm saying? When I stood up and held Mac down, because I'm from the Bronx. I'm a 187 dude. You know what I'm saying? And you know, whatever have you. And I put myself in the line of fire because of that. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I'm pretty sure y'all over there had y'all, you know, disputes and everything, however it was handled. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I will say this. You know what I'm saying? I understand why a lot of y'all feel the way y'all feel, because I would feel the same way, and a lot of us that is being mimicked by a lot of other, you know, cities or whatever on the Eastern Seaboard. Because when you look at the East Coast is only New York, New Jersey, and PA. Everything else is either New England or South. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to this whole East, you know what I'm saying, our sets is all over here. So I can relate to how y'all feel about that. But I'm not going to sit here and say them dudes is fake or them dudes ain't this or them dudes ain't that, you know, because they didn't get blessed. You got certain people that love it so much or love the unity that they put their life on the line. You understand what I'm saying? Some people really, it means a lot to people. A lot of people change their life. Like for me, for example, I don't know what rules or whatever y'all got, but one of our rules is that we had to read, you know what I'm saying, on revolution. We had to read on Black history. We had to do this. We had to do that. Now, we know we go to a classroom, motherfuckers look at that shit and be like, man, get the fuck out of here, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But when those that took them lessons seriously, when they started reading and everything like that, you know what I'm saying, it started changing lives. It helped people out or whatever. That's why I know the things that I know, what I said about the Kwanzaa thing, for example. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us we still acknowledge Kwanzaa.
I don't.
The history of Ron Karinga.
I don't acknowledge Kwanzaa. I had one uncle, only one person in my family acknowledged it. Nobody else in my DNA acknowledged Kwanzaa. But that aside, I just want to say this, because like you said, you watch my channel, you didn't check me out. I've never said nobody in New York was fake. That's a misconception.
I never said that. You said that.
I know, but
in general.
Right. But see, you didn't specify that though.
Okay. Go ahead.
All right. See, I never said that. And you know, I got my own opinion. Some I refrain from speaking. Some I'll say, but there are a lot of people on here that do say New York Bloods are fake. But I don't believe nobody's fake. I don't believe a rat is fake. I don't believe a Buster's fake, because all it takes is this. Just take that index finger to kill a motherfucker. You know what I mean? You got killers everywhere. You got the penal code 187 in all 50 states.
Right.
And so anybody can kill somebody, and a scary nigga will kill a nigga quicker than a killer nigga.
That's a fact.
You know, like Monster Cody said, every killer ain't a killer. You just have to kill somebody. So, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, calling people real and fake, up a guy or down a guy, it don't do us no good. What do I gain from that? I don't gain nothing from that. So I try to be conscious of some of the things I say, you know.
Absolutely.
But it is what it is, man. I just don't want nobody putting words in my mouth. Not you, bro, but a lot of dudes that be trolling me.
I watch your channel a lot, and I respect what you're doing. I love your platform, and I be tuned in more than you know what I'm saying, more than you know what I'm saying, or whatever have you. You know what I'm saying? You know, my thing is, you know, when I became a part of this, right? I was thinking about it more like this. Yo, when the homies on the West Coast found out what was going on over here and how the brothers came together and used that mantra, I looked at that as it was going to spiritually connect us, because we connected through so many different events. It's going to always be a lot of people, oh, New York this, or always comparing. Why everybody worrying about New York and was comparing? All right, we the biggest city, y'all the second biggest city. All right, cool. It's a lot of, even before us gangbanging and everything, our whole lifestyles in general, period, is different. You know what I'm saying? I was tasting car. Everything is different. You know what I'm saying? Everything is different. That's just like yo, Kev. That's like a lot of New York fools talking about, yo, these Southern dudes, or this rap from this area, or this rap, that ain't real rap. We started this new, you know what I'm saying, this New York shit, yo, this is how we gonna do it, whatever the case be. My take on that was, all of y'all thugging and bugging. The reason why is because as a people, we are great no matter what part of the planet we on. You know what I'm saying? And everybody going to be able to bring something to add on to that. That's what evolution is about, growth and development. If music is going to just stay one way in one element, there's no growth in that. There's no growth in that. Even though majority of people say the same thing, or say the same thing over and over different ways, but you get the message of what I'm saying in that, though.
Right. Yeah, I think we could, us older brothers can have more dialogue at different times and kind of bring that shit together. the one thing I would say, and this is just me, man, don't take it out on the West Coast. One thing I will say is it's certain individuals, not everybody. I don't know everybody in New York, but certain individuals will say, like, I'm gonna use a hypothetical. They'll say they from Bloodstone Villa, and they'll say they've been to the turf in Compton. Well, ain't no Bloodstone Villas in Compton. So that's what make it wishy-washy. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Kind of state your own shit.
I get it.
And even if you fucking with like whatever you call it, a hyper gang from California, just stay within what you know. Don't try to make yourself seem like you really come and communicate with dudes from your section in LA. If you don't, you still doing what OG Mac did. If you do that, you're still lying. And so that go with anything, but I'm just saying I've seen New York dudes do that. And so
that's a whole fact. I did, you know what I'm saying? I done seen that also. I seen that too. Yo, Kev, now, let me say one thing, Kev. I'm gonna let you speak, bro. Part my soul on this. I want to say something to you, Kev. You know what I'm saying? See what he just said? Everything that people do, right? Whether it be on his social media or on their everyday life, man, and when they're a part of something, it's a reflection on the whole thing, bro.
That's a fact.
So what I'm saying by that is that, remember on time and time again, how, you know what I'm saying, I called you when you spoke in regards to, you know what I'm saying, certain things, it's just not going to be a good look because of who you is, bro.
Fact.
You understand what I'm saying? We got to discipline ourselves and show and do better. That's why, like, now when I be on my joint, I only talk about uplifting. I'm trying to save these youth from out here from getting dogged and abused. You know what I'm saying? All the shit going on. You know what I'm saying? You know how it is. You know how it is, Kev. You know I'm a real motherfucker. I just see my ex and all that.
You already know.
Take them out themselves. You know what I'm saying? And dudes used to try to bag her and all the type of other shit. You know what I'm saying? We know how this shit is. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? One bad apple ain't gonna spoil the bunch. You know what I'm saying? Right. X them out, get rid of them, and that's that. But I really like what's going on right here because, you know, a lot of people is not qualified to talk to them because they don't have the proper you know, history. They haven't been around that long, like he said, but they make it seem like they do. You know what I'm saying? That is further on put us in the mud in their eyes. You understand what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
Yeah, spit, bro.
You made a good point when you said certain individuals, they be watching that one person, and that one person's perspective, they gonna put it on the whole coast. Whether it's East Coast, West Coast, or South Coast. You're right about that. That was a good point. So we all got to be careful of some of the things we say. You know,
what you got some people that's willing to sink the whole ship in order for them to be a captain. So those are the type of dudes you always got to be aware of. I'm gonna say that again, right? So you know that's what it is. You know, if you see what's going on over here, you know, everybody's on the internet. You know, everybody's on the internet. You know, you got certain individuals. You get me, CK. You know, and you know a couple of individuals, and we bump heads, and everybody bump heads. You know, and it always got to stem from somebody trying to be the captain, and that's gonna sink the whole ship, and that's not, you know, and that's not a good look. You heard? It's not a good reflection. You heard?
Right.
So, you know that's what we gotta weed out this. We gotta weed out this bad seeds. You know, and it's gonna take time, but we gotta weed out the bad seeds here because I know it still goes on everywhere in the world with a group of individuals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so, absolutely. You know what bugs me out most?
What's
Kev,
What's that?
Kev Mac, is that, you know, a lot of us, man, it's so much thing going on with us, man, the Willie Lynch syndrome and all this other things, man, that it's crazy how we can be willing to kill each other over a block that was named after an oppressor. And we hold these motherfucking names in such high esteem and we'll be going against each other. Yo, Kev Mac, did you ever read that book, Niggas Cigars by Kill?
No.
That's a good book. He made an insert. I want to just share this with everybody. He made an insert, right? He broke down the making of a slave, right? And he used dogs as reference. You know what I'm saying? And he said, you know, you take a puppy from his mother, from the litter. You know what I'm saying? The stranger brings him in the house. You know, when the stranger first touched him, you know, he's nervous, scared, he's smelling them, trying to get familiar with him. When he brings him to this unknown environment, the only thing he know about that environment is the person that brought him there. So that brings him stronger in a little trust issues. All right, when you start trying to feed the dog, it might not want to eat 1 or 2 times until it's either hungry enough or trust you fully. As you get, you know what I'm saying, when it's time for you to take him outside, you might have to drag him and all that, put the chain on him and all that, whatever. Then once he get used to it, you no longer got to go feed him and everything. He's going to go bring the tray to you when he's hungry. You no longer got to try to find him and drag him by the chain, because he's going to bring you the chain when it's time for you to use the bathroom and go for a walk. And while one day they could be walking outside and that same puppy could be an adult now and just be barking at, or another dog could be barking at the owner, and the other dog be ready to go in on that other dog, right? But not even realizing the dog that's barking from another owner is probably the mother and can remember that that's the seed and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? But the point what I'm making is that in regards to what everybody else do to us, man, we always find a way to forgive, but we constantly killing ourselves. That's why I don't be talking a lot of that gangster shit and all that. Because if I got to talk that gangster shit, I got to talk about, you know what I'm saying, people I hurt. You know what I'm saying? People that hurt me. You know what I'm saying? When I'm talking about murder cap, I got to talk about my peoples that was murdered, or my peoples that murdered people. That's not nothing to be, you know, bigging up or be talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because when you look at it, that's only our people dying.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That ain't other people dying. So, you know, it's like, you know, at a certain point in time, man, you know, evolution, you know, hopefully take us to another place, man. But, you know, this is a start, and it's always been linked, because there's mad people that be going out there fucking with dudes. And there's a lot of Bloods and Crips over there in the West, you know what I'm saying, that give me a lot of love and everything. You know what I'm saying? Yo, when you come out here, you come through, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I want to meet up with Walt D and all of them.
Yeah. Skip's a good dude.
Walt D. You know what I'm saying?
Skip's a good dude for y'all to meet, man. Anytime there's gang beefs in LA amongst older dudes, even if they're young, Skip's the guy that everybody call. Or Skip's the guy that call everybody. Skip go to every hood. He fuck with all the reputable Crips, reputable moves, which I'm going to just say this, and then we can let Skip say what's on his mind. But if me and Skip can get along, if me and Skip can talk and get along, a dude on the West Coast and East Coast should definitely be able to get along. Because we spilled so much blood in the streets of LA in the 80s, man, from like 78 all the way through the 80s and 90s.
Is Skip from New York?
Skip is from LA, bro.
Oh, he's from LA?
Neighborhood blood is 20.
Oh yeah, but because I was in you know, Big Slim and them, man. I had rode him a couple of times and everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
You know, I know, like I said, Kev Mac, you know, me, you know, everybody got their ideology of how they move. You see how Mel Cross is a very expendable dude, a very collaborate, articulate individual who, you know, who evolved around a bigger play. Me, I'm just, I don't know. I'm stuck in my ways, and it's nothing against LA, you know. And I see in some ways you stuck in your ways too when it comes to LA. But I don't feel as if though that for me to be necessary to try to, you know, try to adapt or, you know, to learn more things about the LA side. I'm really stuck in my ways like that. I always have been. So I stay in my own zone. I stay in my own zone. You know, I'm more comfortable in my own zone, my own atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? Because I think sometimes it's a safe environment. That just for me.
Killer Kev, that's cool, man. I got homeboys like you, the stubborn guys that only handle
I'm keeping it real
with violence.
Right.
But ain't nothing wrong with that, bro.
I'm just, you know,
you guys are the ones that need to be less in the political arena, but great at teaching and great frontliner when it's time to go. I mean, that's normal. I mean, there ain't nothing wrong with that, bro. We got them everywhere.
Right, exactly.
That's just the way it is. At the end of the day, it's about what can you teach these younger dudes.
Absolutely. And this is one of the things that I try to incorporate, like in my neighborhood. You know, I got dudes like Shannon Briggs. He's 3-time world. You heard of Shannon Briggs. Me, him, OG Noob, Mel Cross, CK. We got so much bigger things ahead of us that we got to learn how to collaborate, put things together for the youths. And, you know, my projects in Brownsville and Brooklyn is something that I'm dedicated to, you know, because there's a lot of violence going on and there's a lot of little homies that's killing each other out there. So, you know, but the respect that I get when I come through is ceasefire, you know, and it's talking and it's trying to nourish them mentally, you know, to keep continuing to try to, you know, be positive, but not. I don't want to take one thing I don't want to do, and I'm not going to tell a person who got beef with 1,000 people to put his gun down, but I want them to be more smart because I don't want that person's life to be shot because of me. Yo, put your guns down because there's already things that's going on. But to try to design something like in a more positive way, you know what I'm saying? To try to conform a less aggressive energy for them not to do it than to do it. But I'm not going to tell nobody not to eat. So you want, because you know everybody's out there trying to learn how to survive. Dude, people out there starving. So you know I can't tell dude don't do this, don't do that to eat. But try to incorporate something in your life on a positive level. You know what I'm saying? It's one of the things that I try to take my part in as a, you know, an OG, man. That's it. You know what I mean? In my environment. I'm a part of my environment.
Killer Kev, I'm the same way, bro. I'm the same way. I don't tell nobody to stop the violence. But because I feel the same way you feel something happened to them.
You know what I'm saying?
But I encourage dudes that's on the wrong path to, you know, walk lightly and try to find something to do. Because when they end up in the penitentiary with a life sentence, they gonna think about me, and this happened many a time. But let's do my brother Skip. Skip, tell us what's on your mind. What have you got out of this, or what do you disagree with this conversation amongst men?
Shit, the only part I disagree with was what y'all just said right now, because I'm a put my life on the line. I'm a break it down however I got to show them that, and not disagreeing in a bad way, but saying that I'm gonna go the extra step, man, to make sure that I can get these dudes to stop the violence. Like it shouldn't be a death penalty. Like, say for example, to be from Rolling 60s. To me, that's cool because that's an address. So you telling me who holds you accountable. You're not telling me that I should kill you because I'm from another neighborhood. You know, so we should be able to be proud of our communities, proud of our neighborhoods without having to kill each other. So when I walk past a dude and he says, "Oh, I'm from Hoover," or, you know, "I'm from Grape Street," or whatever, it should be like, "Oh, okay, cool." And I should relate to who I was in jail with, who I went to school with, or something like that, but not be looking like I need to hurt him. So that's what I want to teach the kids is, man, you grew up where you grew up, but we don't have to use that aggression to want to hurt somebody because they grew up somewhere else or because of what happened 5 years ago. You know, whoop-de-whoop got shot by them dudes or something, you know, something like that. But really, to be honest with you guys, I learned a lot, man, from just listening, not by talking, but just by listening. I learned a lot from what Brother Killer Kev and the other brother, I didn't catch your name, but, you know, what you guys were saying, because I'm not even going to lie. I had no clue what was going on in New York until like I started talking about when I started hearing about the UBN and you know, the guy Mac and the stuff that was going on. But I learned this from Bloodhound, Mad Ronald, and Loco, my homeboys, you know, who all were contributing to that. You know, they were all contributing to it. And I had a look like, shit, man, why would we promote this somewhere else? But then somebody brought it up, or I brought it up, that shit, well, we was freely promoting it, you know, in Tennessee and in Arizona and in Las Vegas, and we freely promoted it all through the South. So how can I, you know, be mad at somebody who promoted it in New York, you know? But something you said about the swag, you know, about shit, man, New York always had that swag. They always had that. So that was one of the things that just I didn't understand. But still, I ain't got no ill feelings or call nobody fake, because shit, violence is violence. And I've seen motherfuckers in New York do some shit with a razor blade that You know, motherfuckers just don't do out here in LA, man. Shit. That $1.50, shit, we stealing. You know, we stealing. In LA, we stealing $1.50. Cause that came from New York. We wasn't doing that shit. So when people in LA talking about, oh, I gave him $1.50 and I slit his throat and this and that, man, that's some New York shit. That ain't what we do. So, you know, I learned a lot, man. I got major love for the NYC.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming through, Skip. I had some technical difficulties, but I'm back. Kev, man, I appreciate you holding down the fort. But bro, this is the type of conversation that we gotta have, though. You know, and I'm glad Mel, I'm glad you joined, and guys like Killer Kev, because people respect you guys' opinion. Like I seen Mel earlier saying that. Well, when I first got introduced to you guys, it was all on that Queen's Flip interview, and you know, everybody is looking at what one person says, you know, because all you guys came out representing each other in the beginning. Right. So what one person says, even though if it could be by default, it still is going to reflect on you guys. So that's why it meant so much to me, being that you guys is from my hometown. I rather see, with us being a little bit older, I'd rather guys like you guys would lead an example. Right. Because people is followers. So if they see you guys following, they followed you this far. Not saying followers, but you understand what I'm saying.
Impressionable.
For lack of a better word.
Impressionable.
If they're impressionable. And if they followed you this far and they was impressed by what you've done thus far, just imagine the people that you want to gain by turning down a positive street. Right. And because you're gonna lead by example. Those same guys that look up to you now, they still want to look up to you, but you're gonna be leading them into a direction of positivity. And you can't go wrong with that. You know what I mean? So that's why I wanted to see you guys reconnect, tighten it up, whatever the issues is, let that be water under the bridge, or keep that between you guys personally. Yeah, not take it to the social media, because knowing or not knowing, you guys got a lot of eyes on you, a lot of impressionable minds watch you guys and pay attention to what you guys do. So, you know, it take a tribe, bro. We know that. Kev, Mel, you know, I don't know how it was on the West Coast, but I know, you know, when we do something, you was out of line in our era, you ain't really have to worry about your moms. It might be the neighbor across the street. Right. Somebody gonna check you, and then you get checked by them. And then once the word get back to your people, you might get checked again. Whoa. So it take a tribe, man. It take a tribe. And we're tribal people, man. So all we gotta do is start that wave in that direction, and it's gonna go. It's gonna go. We need brothers like Skip, Kev Mac, Killer Kev, Mel Cross, because this is bridging the gap. All the misunderstandings and the miscommunications can be solved with the conversation. And we got guys like Skip and Kev Mac that have a lot of knowledge. So if they see, of course, you know, they might take offense because these guys was born in it, sworn in it. They love it just as much as you guys did. But with the LA guys, it takes another meaning to them guys because they got uncles, grandfathers, in some cases, great grandfathers that come from these sets. So they take it to heart. You know what I mean? They hold it real close. You know what I mean? And it could be once you get in a certain position in life, okay, that's what you represented. But I'm sure Kev Mac ain't running around gang banging. I'm sure Skip ain't running around gang banging. They are who they are. Nope. You understand what I'm saying? They are who they are. But we ain't doing these type of conversations, this type of dialogue. This is what we not doing that either. We're not going around gang banging. That's a fact, because we all at different stages in our life. We are older guys. You know, the street shit is a young man sport, to be honest. You understand what I'm saying? Without survival of the fittest, man. But we need conversations like this. I think this shit is dope. I just think that this is what's needed. So a lot of the confusion can be quelled with just a conversation. You know what I mean? I salute y'all, man. I appreciate y'all coming. And no, I'm not trying to wrap it up or nothing, but you guys was giving so much good input. I just wanted to interject something that, you know, Kev, I understand what you're saying about you can't tell a motherfucker to stop eating if you don't have a way to provide for them to eat. You understand what I'm saying? You can't tell one person to put his gun down when somebody else on the opposite side lost a family member, might have lost a cousin, and they might not even have that level of understanding yet. So they're not ready to come to the table and put water under the bridge. So you don't want to put nobody's life in jeopardy. So it's a real tight rope that you got to walk. But with that being said, you might not be able to reach out to that particular person or that particular situation and fix it. But by you moving in the right direction, like I said,
the energy.
It's a way to turn that tide, and that energy.
Fact. That's the whole fact.
You know what I mean? But that's just my take on it. But I'm gonna let you go this time.
Me and Kev agreed to that. So, I mean, that's the type of individuals we are, man. Our heart's gonna hurt if you tell a brother put his gun down and he get killed. You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
That's right.
I can't tell a man to turn it down.
But I did not understand a guy like Skip, where Skip says that being from a certain set shouldn't be a death penalty.
It should.
But that's because Skip is a 54-year-old man. He has a totally his whole understanding on how the world goes and understanding how this shit goes is different from the 18-year-old with a gun on his waist. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, see, Skip is heavily involved in peace and working with the city, and he know a lot of brothers because he been on Earth 4 years plus longer than I have. So he know a lot of people, and that's what he do. That's not what I do. So and obviously Kev, that's not what Kev do. But Kev ain't gonna steer nobody into the wrong direction. I'm pretty sure. You know what I mean?
That's right.
At the end of the day, man, we all are our own men, and we think how we want to think. We think, you know what I'm saying? We're not easily influenced by another man's thinking.
That's right. I definitely agree on that. So Skip, now how did you progress to get where you are now? Because I'm pretty sure you've been where you might have been in the mindset that Killer Kev has. You know, but to get where you are, you don't just wake up like that. It's a transition. So tell us about your transition to where you are right now with it.
1998, man, I'm facing 2 life sentences followed by 6 years. I'm in LA County jail. My daddy died. They put me in a hole. I couldn't relate to nobody. You know, everybody I was talking to in there, man, they were saying, hey, Skip, put me up on a lick. So I put them up on a lick, and they was getting mad that they didn't understand the lick. I was talking about, man, let's get 2-3 houses, take the Title I loan out, get $25,000 a loan. That's $75,000. That's a lick. And they was like, man, that's stupid. We want to run up in somewhere with a pistol, and so I was seeing that I couldn't relate. My mindset just wasn't relating to what everybody was on, and as I started progressing, they started regressing. So my circle got smaller, and the circle got smaller, and as the circle got smaller, it got real small to where shit. It is what it is, man. I'm on this journey, and I understand that everybody can't come with me. It's cool though.
That's kind of funny, Skip, because I see why we disagree now. I was the complete opposite. I seen my brother and other homies getting a lot of money, and I'm working, and I'm working and in the streets, but I'm like, they making more money than me in a day than I'm making a year. So I was like, that I'm robbing everything. Especially after I lose gambling. So my thing was, I'm gonna be in the streets regardless, because that's where the money was, the girls was, the violence, everything was in the streets, and so that's why the approach I took. But one thing I learned in life, as you get older, you become what's the word I'm looking for? More diplomatic. You know what I mean?
More strategic. You become more strategic.
Yeah, definitely more strategic.
More wise.
Yeah, prison time.
More wise.
Yeah. But again, no matter what Skip believe in or anybody else on this panel, it's really about saving the kids, because like my man said, it's really a kid's game.
That's a fact, man. The streets is a young man's sport, man.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, because they in the streets and they hustling, they with all the new trends, all the new drugs, and they don't have the records that we got.
Man.
Like I said, we got. They don't have no grandbabies yet. It's a whole different ball game.
Yeah, but you know one thing I can say, I'm gonna say this quote, and I learned this when I was in prison, because you know when I was in prison in the box, I read a lot of books and I incorporated a lot of quotes. And one of the quotes that I've learned, and I had this in my mind over 35 years, was like and Marcus Aurelius, he said in his book, he said that the nature of ordinary men is to be wild when young, violent when mature, and greedy when old. He said even one person undergoes a number of changes. So it is no wonder that leaders repeatedly change laws and the country repeatedly change these leaders. And if people use their own positions of responsibility to enforce their likes and dislikes in life, then those that are in subordinate positions will always fear being unable to manage successfully.
Hey, sorry to cut you off.
See, and he's smarter than he look. I was always told that.
Yeah.
I do that.
I got
God got his glasses on, man. He's serious, man.
I got so many other quotes in my head that this is what I live, because when you read, a lot of people say I read these self-help books, I read these books of what's going on, being strategic, the art of peace, the art of war. You read these things, and then everybody read through books. I've learned to read a book first. Second, study it. 3, implemented it.
Yeah.
3 stages that you go through when you read a book that got something to do with life changes.
Hey, yo, homie, check this out, right?
Yes, sir.
Yesterday, I started on my channel. I started a book club, right? Where I'ma just either they can, I will post it up like a week before and let them make comments, or if they want to introduce a book and majority rule. And the first book I did it for the seed, being that it was the first one. So I planted that seed, and I started with As a Man Thinketh. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, man, we know what we supposed to and what we don't do, but we chose to do what we want to do anyway. But they complain when the circumstances is not favorable to you, or you ain't get the outcome that you wanted. Now you cry, now you rat, now you do this, and when you do that, when you knew the outcome, that's like a drug dealer. You're going outside, is a chance that you're going to get locked up, and there's a chance that you might make some money.
That's a fact.
This is what you chose.
That's the part of the game.
Yeah, you this is what you chose. So a lot of times, bro, you know what I'm saying, what I learned is that, you gotta really learn the individual who like when I was teaching, the youngest and all that, man, I dealt with them accordingly, because I know everybody's not ready for no George Jackson book. Because now what they're gonna start doing, they're gonna start using his lingo that they was using in the 60s and 70s. You want to walk like him, you want to have that same nah, it's not that's for, B.
Nah, but this is why I said what I just said. This is why, don't you understand that these dudes, the younger generation, they don't have time to take the time out a day to read a book or to study about how to be strategic on a positive aspect and how to recognize a lot of other things as far as human nature. So when you
hey Kev, can you see this?
So miseducation
of the Negro. Miseducation of the Negro right by my bedside. But let me ask you, Killer Kev. Kev, when you was younger, hey, but look, Killer Kev, when you was younger in the streets, did you stop to read? I didn't start reading until I got to juvenile hall. I didn't start reading until I got to jail.
That's exactly.
I learned 2 valuable things from that book right there by Carter G. Woodson. I learned 2 valuable things about that book. One, why Philadelphia is called the city of go ahead, pardon me, myself.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Skip. I said, you want me to go ahead? You want to talk? Go ahead and talk, bro. I'll wait for after you.
I'm gonna say something real fast.
Yeah.
You know what I incorporate? This is why when you a walking book, because like you just said, they're not going to take the time to read the book until they get their ass still, and that's like in a penitentiary. You heard? So they're not time. They got time for that. But look, the thing is this: is now that when a guy like me come across my hood and they see the way I'm the book that they looking at right now that they supposed to be reading. And the influence that I have on them, mentally, they're going to follow suit. You know, they said that when people are influenced by their leaders, they do what their leaders do, not what their leaders tell them to do. So that's the influence that you got to try to incorporate.
That's a fact. That's a fact. You're right about that, man. You're definitely right about that. But it's right. I mean, you know, when you're running around, when you speeding, you running around, you ain't thinking about no books. You know what I mean?
No.
Until you getting put into the position where you like, damn, you ain't got nothing but time. Okay, well, where the books at? Then you want to read the books and shit. But we got to make it cool again for shit like that. I'll Skip pull that book out. I got the same book, close. But you got to.
I got the education too. Y'all got the education also.
I gotta get that. But it's dudes like us that even Kev, I'm pretty sure Kev, you see Mel, you said you wanted to start a book club. You know, Kev, I'm pretty sure Kev Mac.
I did.
I started a book club, man. You know what I mean? Just make it cool for motherfuckers to educate themselves and make it cool. You don't have to be a violent or be street to be real.
Right.
And we just gotta start walking the walk. If you want to put that energy in the air. It's just guys with a little bit of influence. Got to start walking the walk. You know, we talking it, but we got to start walking the walk.
Right.
And that shit gonna start a snowball effect, man.
Well, I don't know if you've seen. I had Papa T on. Papa T is a ex-member of the Bloodline and a Pueblo, and he came and gave his favorite books, and boy, they was loving it. The comment section was going up on different books. But Skip. Skip, I want to ask you a question, and if you don't answer it, I'm gonna have to do an interview. I'm gonna have to interview you. I want to take you back to your earlier conversation where you talked about paperwork being pushed up under the cell, and you was taught not to accept that.
Hey, look, before you even ask the question, if I ever do an interview and you ask me that question, I'm gonna start drinking some water until you finish. I ain't answering that on Kev Mac videos.
No, listen. What I want to know is there was a lot of UBNs, dog. UBNs had numbers. So I'm just curious. I'm curious. You being around a bunch of blood saying don't read the paperwork. Was that because you was in the pen early or just around a bunch of uncut dudes?
Yeah, so I was in the pen in 86. I did all of 86, all 87. So when I was in the pen, it wasn't none of that. At least we wasn't doing none of that. I know they was already started. I know Reno and them was already in the pen, all that. But yeah, I was told, man, keep your nose away from that. Let them do what they do. They ain't none of your business. But it was more so even in the county jail. You know, it wasn't. I didn't have no experience in prison, but you know, I still kept going back to jail. And in jail, that's where it was like, man, I ain't passing no notes. I'm not even gonna be by the cell, going from cell to cell. I ain't gonna be by there to help nothing go down the tier unless it's some coffee or you don't want your burrito or something like that. But all that other stuff, nah, I wasn't participating. However, that'll start a fight today. That'll start an argument. Just today, by saying uncut, dudes will turn around like, what you mean by that? Why you saying you're uncut, man? Why you got to say that? Why you got to bring that up? You know what I mean?
Real talk.
You know that, yeah, that shit is, I ain't, even just by saying that shit, motherfuckers will be offended by that. So I got to say those things that they got going on, as Killer Kev said, the political shit, I can't get into politics, and I don't want to be into politics because I got love from all sides. So, but just going to jail and being in my neighborhood, there's a lot of older dudes UBN, but man, it's 1,000 of them youngsters that's bloodline. And I would see it. I would see it.
I didn't even know that.
Shit, I've seen some shit, man. I've seen some shit with my neighborhood fighting each other, and I'm trying to figure out what's happening. And I'm choosing sides because of avenues or, but shit would go on, man. Just know that.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. One of the things that I have the ability to do, and as I'm doing now, I do have the influence to change a lot my community, which is Brownsville, and in Brooklyn, and these projects is like it's a lot It's a lot of aggressive hostility that goes on. And one of the things when I come to my hood, these dudes could be 3-4 blocks. They find that I'm in a hood, they come. Because that's a barbershop that I go to, that I'm always there, that my man's in them own. So when I go there, man, they just come and swarm. And all I do is try to kick down to malice, positive things. Because one of the things that I stress, you hear me, Kev Mac, and you hear me, Skip. I'm gonna tell you what I do. I do enforce on them. I'm gonna tell them, and I'm gonna tell you why. I told them they sometimes they look at me crazy, but it makes sense. I said, I'm gonna tell you what we need as black people, and I'm telling these dudes in my projects, I need y'all to go to school to be a lawyer, to be a doctor, to be. You know why? Because I feel comfortable with my own race being my doctor and providing me drugs. I feel safety with my own race. If so, I get arrested. You understand? And to be judged, you heard? To be, this is the things that I be trying to incorporate. I'm looking at this thing from a higher level. If we get positions like that, then we don't have to depend on another one who don't care about us because of our race. So we gotta I try to incorporate some type of mentality as far as them, so take this extra step for dudes like me and for dudes that's coming up. You know what I mean? Because I do want someone to fight for my life like I fought for theirs. You understand?
Right. Now, so Kev and Skip, I got a question, man. And the people, this is in the comment section, people's asking for what is uncut? Because East and West have a different type of lingo. So just people could get an understanding of what that means.
I'm gonna let Kev Mac answer that.
Skip, you need some water? Skip? What about it?
Involved in the download political arena. It's just a blood or a crip that refused to join a prison gang.
Okay. All right, well, that's the meaning of uncut. Now, Mel,
so
you want to interject?
What happens to them if they don't refuse to join those? What happened? How do they move about? How do they move about prison?
Nothing will happen to you. Nothing will happen to you. Just some guys that's uncut look down on people that was cut, but a lot of people don't understand it. A lot of the guys that got cut early on, they did it because that was the movement. Brothers was fighting the Mexican mafia and BGF, and the Aryan brothers. So they felt like they wanted to be a part of something. And then now I can't go too far into the individual politics, but some dudes was getting money. You got money on your books, and you got some drugs to get high or sell in the pen. I mean, it seemed favorable to you at the time if your family and your homeboys ain't looking out for you. And then some dudes was militant and they liked the teachings of the BGF, but didn't want to be part of BGF. And so they ran their own political arena to where they had black consciousness and were like vanguards for black groups. So, I don't knock one or the other because I wasn't in the pen in the early or mid 80s to even on a level 4 to even act like I can say I would have done this or wouldn't have done that. You know what I mean?
So, Skip, you said that you was fighting two bodies, and what you said that was 91?
No, that was 98.
In 98. What was if you care to speak on it, how did you get to be able to be sitting where you're sitting right now, and how you had two bodies facing two bodies?
The dude who got shot, well, it was 2 attempts. They wasn't dead. So the dude who got shot, he sold dope, and he stood up in court and said, "Man, I want to go back to I forgot where he was at. He was at one of them pens, and they had brought him down to come testify." He stood up, showed his bullet wounds, showed his wristband that he was in jail, and he said, "Man, I sold drugs." He said, "I know Skip. There's a dude trying to rob me." He said, "It wasn't Skip, and I still got a hung jury, and that's how I come home." This dude who got shot stood up on the witness stand and said, "Skip didn't shoot me. I know Skip. It wasn't him." and shit. That was it. I got a hung jury, and they were about to do a retake, do it again, and they came up with a deal for 12. And just before I was about to sign the 12, they dropped it, let it go. So yeah, I'm good with it.
So what neighborhood are you from in Cali, and how old were you when you first started, you know, dabbling with street life, and who were some of your earlier influences?
So shit, I come out the West Adams area, but really I was born in the East Adams area. I was born over off of 20th Street and Central Avenue, which is the East Side 20s Outlaws. But we moved west later on. My earlier influences were just them, the Outlaws, because we used to go to the movie theaters. We could watch 3 Bruce Lee movies for $1 downtown LA at the State Theater. And we were told that the Crips were down there and they was beating up people, taking their leather jackets. And I was about 9 years old, and I was like, well, shit, we ain't got no leather jackets, man. Let's go.
Now, what year was that? What year was that, Skip?
Shit, about 73, 72, 71, 72, 73. We stopped going like 73, so that's when all the stuff was going on.
Okay.
But, yeah, so my influence was the Bloods, period. You know, then I moved in 1974. We moved to 66 and Dinker, and that's where I met Monster Cody and used to play with Frank, Cute's brother. They called him Lucky. So me and Frank was cool, but I didn't get along with nobody on 69th Street. You know, Todd, Michael Orso. Monster Cody would never fight me, but he made me fight everybody on that block. So, you know, that's what I tell people going to Catholic school, being young and light-skinned. We had to walk past it, the whole 60s. I fought damn near everybody in the Springer family. John L., JD, Cat, just going to the Catholic school down there. JD was my age, so he would come to pocket check. When I fight him, now here come his whole family. So, shit. So, you know.
So look, but you running around with Monster Cody, you know, Dinker and all that. How did you not become a Trey Gangster? How did you become bro?
Well, I wasn't hanging with them. So I lived on 66, but I was hanging with Stagger Lee and some of the other dudes who eventually came A-Trey, but we moved. So had I not had to fight everybody over there, seeing what I'm talking about is fighting people in my own neighborhood. You know what I mean? It wasn't that we going together to fight somebody. I ain't never went nowhere with Monster Cody and we fought somebody. No, when I walked going to the bus stop, Monster Cody would send Michael or Todd or his little brother or somebody, man, go see what Skip got. So now I'm turning around fighting. So they wasn't my friends. It was from the beginning, man, I don't like y'all because y'all don't like me. You know, that type of thing. So by 1977, I was gone. We moved away from there and, you know, yeah, but my grandmother always lived in the 20s, the East Side 20s. And then she got a house on the West Side 20. So I wasn't even following my mama. My mama moved into the 60s. I wanted to go live with my grandmama. So that's how I end up on the West Side 20s.
Now, who were some of the OGs? Who were some of the guys that you know influenced you to join and you know?
Oh, it's one dude named Head. My homeboy Monster's older brother. Head is the one who created the Rolling 20 Avenues, even though he was never a Rolling 20 Avenue. He is from 27th Street. So Head, Big Monster, Lunatic, B-Rock, all these dudes, they started the Avenue 20s because of Head. So yeah, if it wasn't for Head, yeah, I'd probably be somewhere else. It'd have been a Blood, but it wouldn't have been 20s. There was other guys, man. Crazy B was Matt Ronald's brother. Crazy B was jumping out on people, beating them up, man. I want to be like him too. And Black Reese, you know, a few other dudes.
Somebody said happy birthday, Kev Mac again, man. Once again, happy birthday, brother Kev Mac.
Yeah, Crazy B's a reputable.
Without a doubt.
You know Santa Claus?
Yeah, so Santa Claus was reputable too. You know, he did a lot of shit in juvenile hall. I mean, he went to juvenile hall when, you know, he was sometimes the only blood and he didn't give a damn. He fight everybody. So he had major hands, had them line up, you know, so yeah, but you know, I never wanted to be like Santa Claus. He had slapped a little homie when I was younger. And I just had animosity and never, you know, fixed it with it.
So pardon me, y'all, man, because we getting a little late. I gotta get up and meet these guys, man. I finally got people working for us now. So my truck is gonna be up tomorrow. Right? Yeah, so I gotta go up early. I gotta meet these guys.
Can't hear you.
You can hear me now?
I hear you good.
Oh, now I said, pardon my soul. I ain't mean to interrupt nobody, but it's getting kind of late. I gotta get up early, my wife, because you know, we finally got the business up and jumping. We got 2 people that's gonna run the truck, deliver the appliances and all that. So I gotta come there and have them fill out the applications, do all the paperwork and everything like that. Give them their tools and everything, and you know, send them on their way. So I gotta be there by 6 o'clock. So okay, you know what I'm saying? So you know, I got but I just wanted to send my regards. I definitely wanted to be a part of this because it was epic. And you know, it definitely was needed. And what you said though, bro, too, info, it was real deep, man, because I be bumping and people be recognizing me on the street and they be like, yo, man, let me get you a bottle of Henny or something, man. Dudes get taking me to the store, buying me big house of Hennessy. People trying to get numbers, people calling me, asking me about things about their life or something that they see on TV. They want to know my opinion. So the influence is definitely there, man. That's definitely real right there. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, right. I'm gonna always be that solid soldier. Make sure, man, I lead them right, man. I got a son that's growing up, man. I don't want him going through the shit that I've been through. You know what I'm saying? It's like I got daughters and everything, and I don't want to put them through. I done put some females through, or seen some of my homeboys put females through. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to salute y'all. You know what I'm saying? Anybody got something to say to me personally before I leave? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. Get my number from bro. Get my phone number, man. I want to connect with you.
No question. That's definitely an honor, and I will do that. Definitely, man. Y'all stay safe. Y'all stay up, man.
Yo, I appreciate you, Mel, man. Yeah, be safe, man.
No doubt, man. Salute, y'all.
All right.
I'm gonna shoot you. As soon as we get off here, Mel, I'll shoot your number. When you get up in the morning, you'll have his contact.
All right. Thank you, bro. Salute, y'all.
No
thank
problem,
you, y'all.
Yeah.
All right, for sure.
All right.
Yo, Kev, man, I appreciate it. Look, I'm not gonna hold y'all up, man. Skip, man. I don't know if you're into doing interviews and all that, man, but I would love to bring you on the platform, man, the Info Minds platform, and you know, tell your story the way you want it to be told, man. And we just dropped a piece with Kev Mac tonight. You may take a look at that, and you know, if you feel it's something that you can get involved with or have one done on yourself, you know, we'd love to profile you on the platform, man. I believe you got an interesting story to tell and a lot to teach. You know what I mean? So, and I want to know about all the organizations you're working with and where people could find you at, or where people want to reach out, is their email address and all that kind of stuff. So definitely you can shout all that out now if you don't mind. And the same thing with Kev. Well, Kev, they know where to get you at, man. Kev Mac videos, man. That's all we got to say to that.
Hey, man, why is my wife singing Kev Mac videos this morning? I watch them. She don't. But she don't even watch them. And I'm in the kitchen and she talking about Kev Mac videos. You know, I'm like, come on.
That's right. I get that a lot. Kids and wives, man.
Yeah. Man. But she ain't seen that one video.
But she hears
she just hearing what I'm watching, right? Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I'm a Second Call Wolfpack on Instagram. It's the number 2 NDCALL Wolfpack on Instagram, and Skip Townsend on YouTube and on Facebook. Just Skip is with 2 P's. SKIPP.
Okay.
So that's how to get in touch with me.
All right. And you could also follow me at InfoMinds, INFOMINDS. That's on Instagram. I'm on my phone right now. So you said it's Skip. What's your you said it's Wolfpack? On Instagram, it's Second Call Wolfpack. I'm gonna go find you right now. Okay, yes. It's Second Call, but Second Call is the number 2. It's not spelled out. Okay. But yeah, just follow me. I'm gonna follow you back, man. Kev, we are already in tune with each other, man. And all I'm gonna say is continued success, man. And Skip, we're gonna talk, Kev, man. You know, I just wanted to bridge the gap between the East and the West, 2 totally different platforms, 2 totally different styles, but with one thing in common, man. We all brothers, man, at the end of the day, man. So, you know, I always want to show, being at our platform, we got a lot of eyes on us. So we kind of got to be the ambassadors of this shit. So, you know, we don't get involved in the back and forth in the comment section with people. So if you're looking for that's not here. But if you come and look at some quality content, learn some things, I think we got a lot to offer, and the brother Kev Mac also has a lot to offer when it comes to that. You know, we're just genuine brothers, man. You know, we don't know Hollywood shit. We just genuine brothers, man, with a goal. Everybody trying to make it, man. You know?
Right. Killer Kev trying to get back in, but
okay. I mean, it's up to y'all, man. You know, I'm good, man. You know, we quarantined. I'm fine. It's the comment section. We still got over 100 some odd people in here, man. So it's up to y'all, man. You know, however y'all want to, you know, go about it. But I just let the people know where they can.
A few more minutes, but not too long.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I gotta go get my dinner, man. I done came home and to quarantine myself in the room, so I gotta go get something to eat. So man, much love to y'all, brothers, and yeah, I just started following you on Instagram, so you'll see.
I got you. As soon as I get off of here, I got you, my brother. I'm gonna bring Kev back.
Mac, happy birthday, bro.
All right, yo, thanks, appreciate it.
All right, and Killer Kev, if he can hear me, I don't know if he can hear me or not, but shit, send my regards as well, man. Much love to New York and everybody who had all them bad things to say on the comments. I know we don't address it, but man, it's much love coming from me to New York, man. I don't have no negativity about that.
That's right. I appreciate you. I appreciate that, man. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people out there that can appreciate that as well, man. You know, our brothers just having an intelligent conversation, man. It's all love. Yo, Skip, we appreciate you, man. Go and enjoy your food, man.
All right, y'all.
All right.
Kev, you getting a lot of birthday love in the comments section.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool. Oh, man.
You getting a lot of love. Let me see if I can I'm going to get Killer Kev back up in here. So what's next for Kev Mac videos, man?
I got Tight Eyes, one of the two founders of Park Village Compton Crip, coming up next. Okay. And then I got Swanee, Eastside Bloodstone Villain, speaking on the baseball league, and that's about it. I'm gonna have to be creative and find something else to come up with.
Man, I ain't seen what's up with the T. Rogers joint, man. I just knew a T. Rogers joint was coming.
I had nothing on T. Rogers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm waiting for that.
He ain't trying to deal with me.
Okay.
Okay. But tonight, wherever you want.
What have we got?
It was very dope since yeah, people saying they need a weekly show with us, man.
I mean, you know, I usually be busy, to be honest, and but anytime I'm free, it's cool. Shit, it's cool.
Yeah, man, what we working on, man? We just trying to let your episode marinate for a little bit. You know, we're gonna put it on Spotify, we're gonna put it on all the platforms. We got the uncut version because what we had to do was we had to dumb it down a lot because you know we had some scenes with some guns. If you remember the first one that we put up, you know, all the scenes with the drugs and the guns and all that type of shit, we took all that out. So YouTube, because what they did was they put an 18-year-old restriction on it. So that slowed the views. That kind of just slammed the brakes on the views. So we wanted to make sure that it got YouTube wouldn't try to pull the rug from under our feet. So what we did was do another edit. We took out some of the curse because I'm not sure if you're even aware of it, but you used a lot of colorful language.
I'm sure I did. I used the N word a lot and MF word a lot.
Yeah, so we took those out. We took as much of those out. So hopefully they don't give us no issue, man. But even if they do, the uncut version will be up on our Patreon, and I'll send you the link to that so you can check out the uncut version and just compare that.
YouTube been messing me up a lot, man. And
yeah, I don't know, man. You got guys like, you know, I ain't want to sit here and dry snitch on nobody, but you know, you got platforms with dudes is smoking and chilling, but maybe because they celebrities and they don't get no issues, man. And then guys like us that put together this content, you know, what we teaching, you know, motherfuckers giving history lessons, using people's lives as templates of what they might not want to do and might not want to get involved with and shit like that. So I guess, you know, man, when you know in the era that we in right now, when you want some politically correction, you really trying to save lives with the content and really put out a message. You know, those you the ones that get the most flack. I guess if we was on here talking crazy and promoting the bullshit, then we wouldn't have no problems.
You know what's funny is YouTube the ones acting like they under 13.
Yeah, man, it's just I can't figure it out. I can't figure out. We done lost our we got demonetized like 2 or 3 times this past year. You know, so it's just like you can't win for losing with them. So I don't know what we doing wrong. I don't know what we doing right.
Boy, you turned the echo on, man?
Yeah, nah, we lost Kev. I was trying to turn the laptop on so I could add Killer Kev back. But, yeah, I'm pretty sure he'll go live from his joint. But Kev, I ain't gonna hold you up, man. I'm gonna get out your way, man. Y'all appreciate your time, my brother. You know, I like to show that there is no gap between the East and the West, man. All it takes is a phone call, and brothers could get on the phone, or brothers could get on this and have a conversation and quell a lot of the dumb shit, because the comment section was going crazy. We got a lot of love for Kev Mac over here on the East, and I'm pretty sure they got a lot of love for us over there. So it's no disconnect, man. It might be a disconnect between certain demographics, but men, ain't no disconnect between men. We all connected, man.
Yeah, but in anything, you're going to have some disagreements. That's just normal shit.
Right, and as men, you got to agree to disagree sometimes. You agree to disagree with some of your best friends. That's just how it should go. You know what I mean? You ain't always going to agree on things, but you come to a common ground and, you agree to disagree and move on. And, that's that.
Right.
You know? But all right, my brother, I'm going to get out your way, Kev, man. Be safe, man. Enjoy the rest of your night, man. I appreciate your time, man. And hopefully, man, fingers crossed, YouTube, they ain't going to do no funny shit, man. That video could get a couple 100,000 views, man.
All right. I want to, before I leave, I want to give a big thanks to everybody who gave me a shout out for my birthday, man. Take it easy, bro. Peace.
All right, for sure. Peace, Kev. And one love. I appreciate everybody. Thank y'all for tapping into this first episode, man. Appreciate y'all. We're going to start doing this on a regular basis after some of our For the Culture Info Minds Presents episodes. We're going to start doing like a reaction chat where we bring the people from that episode or the people that we profile. We'll bring them on and just have a conversation and field some questions from the comment section and shit like that. So with that being said, man, I'm going to get out y'all way. Y'all be safe, man. Have a good night, man. And just I want to say peace from Info Minds and For the Culture. Y'all take care of yourself. Be safe. One love.